Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome on in. Time to get back to some painting. One sec. Been slowly rearranging my space here, so a little bit of a challenge getting everything to the right spot, but we'll get there. All right, so we finished up on Monday with basically all of the main things that we needed to do for these wolf boys. Using boys in the gender neutral, of course. So we've got some of those we're gonna put together. We've got we're gonna do some decals on these, make them look nice and finished. And then from there, I've got a small project, which is going to be some elementals, because I realized I couldn't possibly do a star of Clan Wolf without at least giving them some elementals, especially because I will end up playing with these. They'll go on the tabletop at some point in time, and that's just kind of a must-have, right? Got to have those. And then from there, I've been recently inspired by various events. I've got a bunch of stuff. I've been pulling all my 40K stuff out, and so I'm going to be kind of putting that together as well. I've got a model I've been working on. I've been doing a test paint job, and then from there, we'll see where we end up. Hey, Panda, welcome back. So fun fact, when I first started doing anything with miniatures whatsoever, like 1.5 million years ago, the models were actually made of lead. And that was a real thing for many years, was lead figurines. Those were specifically like old D&D models, but luckily we don't do that anymore. No lead, but we do have asbestos still. No. But yeah, the original old school, like first edition D&D miniatures, were actual lead miniatures. So I don't know why that still seemed like a good idea back then. Like, they knew that in that day and age, we knew, how bad lead could be. But did that stop us? No, that didn't stop us at all. Why would it? All right, I got some energy drink. Make sure my hands are as shaky as possible while I work on this. We're gonna flip on over here. What we're doing, we're gonna work on putting these decals on here. Just always trying to tell, like, how the focus on this camera is actually working. Which one is it? This one. That really. It's like this tiny. Yeah, that's weird. It really doesn't want to focus on that exact spot. That's all right. It's not too bad. You just can't quite see the decals right now for some reason. All right, it'll all work itself out. So we're gonna need a few things here. Our friends today are gonna be Microset, Microsol. Need our scissors and our hobby knife, of course. And the most important, we gotta have some tweezers, because these are really fiendishly small. Panda, I tried your fix with the Bluetooth, still no go. I got rid of that. I got rid of that Windows update. Then I found there was like, I went to go look at like, I don't know what it called them, like special updates or something. There was like a Western Digital update, which I think that's actually like a hard drive update. I took it anyway, didn't do anything, so whatever. I went ahead and just bought a Bluetooth antenna. It should be here today. It's really dumb. I'm kind of annoyed that I had to spend the money for that, but whatever. It was on sale at least. Or at least they made it look like it was on sale, so I would feel better about it, because that's what Amazon does now. Okay, so last thing we need, a little bit of liquid. Gonna put a tiny bit of water in there. We don't need a lot. In fact, actually, I can probably move this over there with these. And we're going to be adding the Clan Wolf insignia and then some of these nice numbers to each one. A lot of times I'll do 2 of each. That's what I did on this one. So you can see we put the nice big like 36 on there. You can see the Clan Wolf symbol under the dirt there. And then that other nice big 36. Actually, this is a small 36. That's the big one. And then again, Clan Wolf on the arm. A little shiny right now. I haven't done a final matte coat of these, which I usually do, so that's coming soon. So we're gonna do that on each, as long as I can find spots for all of these. Like, one of the challenges sometimes with the way these miniatures are designed is it can sometimes be really hard to find a spot to put everything. But I will try to follow the pattern I've already established. So like if I can put a wolf on the arm, and then a number on the leg, and then what was the other one? A wolf on the arm. Like, yeah, this one here, there's a tiny spot for a wolf. So I could use one of these tiny little wolves, which will kind of sad. Like, I want to use a bigger one than that, but we'll probably just do that anyway. All right, let's start off with some wolfy symbols and see where we end up. This one's on a leg. That's a nice spot right there. So I think I can get a fairly decent sized one. Probably, definitely one of these, maybe one of these in there. And then we'll just do a quick test. Come on, you know you want to work. Right, technically we're going to be too big for that, but I think through the power of microset and microsol we should be okay. So we'll let that sit in there for just a minute. That's gonna go on his leg. Need a teeny tiny one, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna do one of the small ones here. These decals are by Fighting Piranha Graphics. They do pretty much every Battletech faction you could hope for. Personally, I get all of mine from Ares Games and Miniatures. I am not sponsored by them. They did not pay me to say that. They are just a really great place to do your shopping. And so if you're looking for a place to get these decals, that's where I would personally go. Maybe I should be sponsored by them. All right, so we're gonna go in here. All right, so that'll work pretty good. One other thing I need is
Get it while it's hot, 'cause in another week it will be not.
a Q-tip. And then technically, I probably should have put down a little micro set first. But that's all right, not a real big deal. So I'm gonna suck the water out of it with that. I'm gonna get a brush I'm not emotionally attached to because these chemicals are, you know, chemically. And like to do this perfect, you should put the microset, which is the blue bottle, under the decal, and then the microsol above on the top. That's all right though. It will work either way. The microsol specifically is designed to melt the decal a little bit. And so where I'm placing it, in fact, oh, I don't think I can move it anymore. I can get away with moving it a little bit more. I just changed my mind on the placement. I decided I wanted it like in the center of that. Since there's some ridges on that part of the model, I'm trying to get it nice and in there where it should be. Okay, next we need a number on the arm. I think we're gonna have to go for one of these smaller ones. I already did number 36, so who does this want to be? This will be, let's go with number 34. Or, you know what? Nah, I did that other wolf symbol. We'll throw that in first. And while it's in there, then we'll cut out some 34s here. Okay, that was leg, so this one will be on the arm. Oh, and I left it in the water too long. Can I save it? Come on, you little beast. That'll work. Of course, I put my mic right where I needed my hand to go. No. Every once in a while, you'll just run into a decal that wants to stick more to everything else in the spot you wanted to put it. Because decals can be jerks that way. And then with the Q-tip, I'm super gently touching it. Really just trying to kind of push it into the spot it should be and maybe pull a little bit of liquid out of it is all. All right, I might have to do this number on the front. The leg. Which is fine, like I generally try to follow a convention when I build matching stuff like this, but I also usually leave myself open to variation. Because, well, no plan survives contact with reality. I think I got that right. It's kind of hard to see right now. Yeah, I did. All right. Get in the bath. Everybody in the pool. Boop. And boop. Alright. That one's not going in the pool yet. It's just going to be on deck. It's waiting on the diving board. And this should be about ready to go. Oh, you know what? That'll actually be a good spot for it right there. And try to remember the micro set this time, because I always forget it. Back to the microsol. You know, microsol is definitely less important on the very small pieces, or sorry, on the flat pieces, but I like to use it. I'm a completionist. All right. And then he's gonna get a number probably right there. Where our other small number is going to go, and in fact, since it's a small one, I'm just going to pull it right back out because it'll get oversaturated anyway. And again with the micro set. I mean, technically, I think if you wanted to put micro set in the little container, you could do micro set for everything instead of water. At least I believe that's true. All right, there we go. 34 is on. The arm. Beep. And then this is curved, so we definitely want the micro sol on there. And so that's how he ends up looking like. We'll set him aside to dry, and the next phase for him will be some pigment. I've got some pigment that I'll put on the feet and the base. Actually, I might do a little more detail work on the base. And then we'll do pigment. Trying to decide if I'm gonna put, I'll probably put stuff on the base, and then I'll do the final matte coat over the top of everything. I don't know if we'll do matte coat on stream or not. It's not super exciting. I'm just gonna put it in the airbrush and dull it down, but we'll see. So for this one, I was looking at it before the stream, and it's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt because of all of the different contour it's got. I can probably put a clan wolf somewhere in here. Well, it'll be number here, clan wolf somewhere on this leg. Maybe up there, maybe down here. I don't know. We'll cut some out and see what they look like. And then we'll rinse and repeat on the other side. So let's start with clan wolf pup here. So I think I can get away with a big one in that space, or at least second biggest one. And then I'm just really trying to trim this down as close as I can. You know what I just realized? I think one of my widgets is broken. And I think I know why, so let me take a look here in just a second and see if I can fix it. You know what? This one is just too big. It ain't gonna work. You live, you learn. One sec. Hey, there we go. It's fixed. Was doing some updates on my streaming widget utilities today, and it was a rush job, and I borked it up. All right, take two. We're gonna go with a smaller symbol for the arm this time. All right, get it where we want it. Okay, there's that one. The other one's gonna go on the leg. It's probably gonna have to either go in this area or in this area right there. I'm not sure which is gonna be best, so let's take a look. Luckily, these are not very tall, so I can probably get, even with the little elevation change there, the crease, I can probably get away with one of these. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. We'll find out in a second. Get the angle how I like it, and then leave it alone so that the micro saw can do its job. Another use for microsaw, if you're not familiar, is you can actually use it to remove decals as well. So if you got decals you don't like, which I might actually be doing on a miniature I have here very soon. In fact, maybe I'll do that now. Now that I think about it, I think I actually want to do that. For some reason, when I did these models, I don't know, I did a bunch of weird stuff I'll actually put some microsol on this and see if I can pull this decal off. I'm gonna try something else with it instead. All right, so moving on to numbers. We need a 35. That is the wrong position. Crap on a crap cracker. All right, well, I did this guy backwards, because of course I did. I always do at least one that way. Uh... Oh no! Decal tried to escape. Yeah, thanks for that reminder, Stream Elements. I am going to be separating out this channel, so I've kind of decided I really like doing my folk music, and I want to kind of keep that as a separate channel, which was what Folk Firebrand was created for. So I'm going to shift this miniature streams over to Folk Fire Minis. That'll be on the 1st of August, or whatever stream is closest to that. And then we'll continue doing co-working streams and music streams here on the Folk Firebrand. So if you like this content, make sure and go over and give that new channel a follow. And I will see you there in about a week or two. Ooh, just in time. Nope. Looks like we had a goodbye bots. All right. So that's the linebacker. We've got bumped just a little bit. That, bring that just down. There we go. All right. A number, symbol, symbol, number. We good. Alright, that's fine. I'll just paint over it. It's actually probably less work to do that anyway. Alright, so this one has some nice big panels on it. That's going to be good. Let's see if we can get this right. So number, symbol, number, symbol. See if I want to use any of these other panels that look nice and big. Nope, but I can go with one of these. Some of these bot names, you can't see them obviously because I banned them, but some of them just blow my mind. I assume these are all people that got hacked at some point in time. Can you imagine getting your account stolen so you can be a Twitch AI bot? Seems like a sad fate. And we're gonna give this just a second for the water to do its magic. Okay, I like that one. Apparently, I'm just gonna screw this up every time now, so I'm changing how I'm doing things because I naturally just want to start with a symbol on that arm. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. So on this leg, we got room for another symbol. I think we can do one the same size, which is great. I like being able to do bigger ones. So they read better on the tabletop.
Way less. My crew the best.
This music goes really well with my energy drink. Ah! Back to the microsol. Want it to kind of be parallel to that line above it. This needs a little bit of help so it'll conform. Except I loosened the whole thing up, but that's all right. We're gonna be fine. All right, number time. We have done 35, 34, 36. Looks like it's time for 37. We're playing bingo here. We should be able to put a big one on there somewhere. I'm pretty sure that'll be no problem. So let's go start with that. All right, 37 can come out. That's gonna go on his leg right about there. A little microset underneath. Oh. A little bit of sol, and then one more number there. That'll be a perfect spot for a smaller one. Hey, B-Bum, how you doing, buddy? How was your stream today? 37, and did I already cut out a 37? A small one? Yes, I did, right there. We're doing tiny little decals. Nice. Looked like you were having fun with that. Is that a guitar you're doing right now? Guitar body? But it looked like it was coming along pretty well. And I don't know if you saw, I did another music stream last night. I think we're gonna make a Trad Tuesdays a regular thing again. I finally got my mic working properly. Well, one of them. One of my mics was not working properly. I found out afterwards, but that's okay. Continuous improvement. All right, get that. Yeah, I got the fiddle mic working well, but then I was playing mandolin into this audio mic, and I had it too close, so I was blowing it out just a little bit. But that's all right. We'll get it next time. I have an instrument mic, I just haven't pulled it out. It's kind of in the corner over here, so that's what we'll do next time around. All right, so we got 3 of the 4. This will be the last one. Yeah, so Tuesday nights, we're going to be doing that as regularly as I can. I'm thinking I want to try to do one on the weekends too, but I'm not sure what day is going to work best. Weekends tend to be I've got a lot of disc golf going on, and then there are some other sessions I go and play at, so we'll see how things work out. Kind of my gaming day. It's when all my unemployed friends are available, so when I have most of my social time. Or sorry, it's when my employed friends are available. So yeah. Okay. So since I've totally borked this up, I'm just gonna go with it. So we've got room on his arm right there. I think that there or there will be a good spot. On the leg there is gonna fit. Actually, this has got some really nice big flat spaces. It makes me very happy. So he's gonna be really good for some decals. Yeah, and then you probably see the message above, but I am gonna split out this miniature painting into its own thing. So it's gonna stop being on the Folk Firebrand, and I'm gonna be doing it on another channel, and just keep Folk Firebrand as my music streams and kind of my miscellaneous stuff. But that won't be for a couple weeks. That way it'll be just a little bit less ADHD. around here. All right, we're gonna go 38.
Listen to me speak, but just say what you want. What words will you keep? The ones that cause us harm. You assume the worst, but that is yet to come. Because you caused it first, and now we've come undone.
And we can do a big 38 here as well.
Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Fed up, we're trying to fix our problems. Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Caught up in trying to find a problem. Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Fed up, we're trying to fix our problems. Why do we lose our minds, lose our minds? Because you bent the truth. Now it's hard to find a place for me and you. I know you're paranoid, but that does not
Beep.
excuse the way we've paved a void and made ourselves
Oh.
confused. Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try?
There we go. I think we saved it.
Caught up in trying to find a problem. Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try? Fed up, we're trying to fix our problems. Why do we lose our minds, sending us before we try?
Okay, must have been that one. There we go. And so that's going to be the end of the numbers, assuming that all works out properly.
Hey, they screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my private time, I only
And I think right on the knee is going to look nice for this one.
so let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter. Hey.
Waiting for the flag to fall here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it.
Oh, almost botched that one.
This is the moment.
All right, 38, 38. That's looking good. Now to move on to some of these.
Y'all are taking one too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two.
Let's see what we can get away with.
Four times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it 'cause I'm
Waiting for the flag
And looking at this one, I need to go back. Maybe in all of these, add a little bit more brightness. They look a little dark. Alright, so that decal's maybe a little bit bigger. It just looks like he's got a really big tattoo. I like it though. I think it'll be fine. So that's good. We'll let that dry, and then we can do one more on his leg or his knee. Technically, probably his knee would be the better spot, but I don't care. I'm gonna put it on his leg so we can see it. There's always that challenge between realistically where would it go and artistically how does it look on the model. I don't know if that's gonna fit. I may have to actually shift to the knee. We'll see, or shift to a smaller one. I think my eyes were too big for my stomach. That would be a negatory. All right. Yep. Abandon. We're just going to do another one. We'll do a smaller one for the spot that I actually want to put it in. I don't like the smaller ones as much. They don't read as well, but that's fine. I'll always know what it is. And then I'm just adding a little bit more of the microsolve just to the, well, to all of them, but specifically to these ones on the curved surfaces, so they'll adhere a little better. All right, that's it. Decals are on. Where's the other lid? Get these out of here. Okay, and clean up my little mess I got going on here. And then we'll put some tools away. Okay, we're still gonna need this. Needed that. So what we're gonna do next, actually while that dries, I'm gonna go in, add a little bit of shadow to the bases, and then, and that's gonna be back here. Gonna use a little bit of these Army Painter quick shades, soft tone, dark tone, a little bit of flesh wash, nothing too crazy. I've been using these for years. They just work really well, but you can use any washes you're comfortable with, of course. And all I'm really doing is just looking to add some depth here, especially around these feet where there'd kind of be some shadow. Add some little bits of visual interest. And one of the things I really want to do here is make the miniature look separate from the base, right? Because one of the dangers when you paint a base like this is you make the miniature look like it's painted onto the base. There's no separation between the two. And we want to create that visual illusion that it's physically standing there, separate from the quote-unquote dirt that it's standing on. Okay. Like I said, that's super quick and easy, nothing hard to do, nothing hard there. Then just clean that off my palette so that it's fresh for whatever next I want to do. And actually one of the next things we're going to do, we probably won't use a palette for, we'll go back to the little container I had here. And what we're gonna do now, trying to decide if I want to do plants first or plants second. I think I'm gonna do plants second. Yeah. But before I do that, but wait, there's more. I just noticed I wanted to add a little bit of brightness. So I'm gonna add a little bit of brightness. Need something to make that stand out, and then while I was doing that, I kind of realized there was a little bit of cleanup I could do on cockpit here. I think this one's gonna need that treatment as well. All right, just a little bit, just to kind of clean up the cockpit, add a little bit of detail. That's all it needed. All right. So those are done. Next, we're gonna do some pigments. For that, we're gonna do pigment binder and a little bit of Vallejo ochre red. Wait, is that the one I want? Yeah, why not? And I'm just gonna use this dry brush. Mostly we're just doing this around the feet to make it look like he's actually been walking in the dirt that he's standing on. And you can go in a little bit heavy with this stuff, mostly because when you put the pigment binder over it, it's gonna wash some of it out anyway. And I also generally put a little bit of it on the base. And you can see, done right, it's nice and subtle. But you can definitely see it there. And let me tell you, I used to live near a place that had a lot of red dirt. Actually kind of inspired some of this terrain, and it sure does get all over everything. So and I'm just blowing a little bit of the base off every time to get some of the excess off of the base itself. And you know, I'm probably losing some from some other spots, but that's okay. And we're going to do a little pigment binder right over the top of that. And that will pull a little bit of it off, but that'll be all right. I've done it lots of different ways. Like sometimes I mix it with the pigment binder, sometimes not. It just kind of depends. Another thing to note, when you do like the final matte varnish over the top of it, that will also help adhere it a little bit. And I decided to just experiment here and try dabbing some of this in on top of the wet pigment binder, just to see what happens.
Been standing still, captive in the hills that hold me here.
And so yeah, it's pretty moist right now. It should look great when it dries though.
Don't wanna just survive. It's not enough. So take my hand, let's soar. I know you can't ignore.
Okay, so we have done decals. We have done basing. Last thing, one of my favorites, is we get to do a little bit of world building here. And so for that, what I'm going to do is zoom back out. That's the wrong camera. How about this one? How about this one? Hello? Oh, you know what? That's why it's not working. All right, we're gonna zoom out. We are gonna get rid of this cover here really quick because it's all dusty. And then we're gonna add some plants, some little bushes. Stuff like that. So we've already done that to this one. You can see he's got some rocks, he's got some different little plants on there. The area of the world that these are modeled after is red dirt with like lots of little green plants all over the place and pine trees and stuff like that. So we're kind of mimicking that. And these are 6mm flowers and bushes. There's some other bigger ones here. Think of them kind of like sawgrass, something like that. You know, some of those grass plants can get 6, 8 feet tall. And so that's kind of what we're gonna mimic with some of these bigger ones. But then I also have some nice little 6mm stuff here that is, you know, more in scale with the mechs. And then for these, it's pretty straightforward. I always use a little bit of super glue and then tweezers, and you know, these are self-adhesive. I don't trust the adhesive, so I always add my own. Helps if I can find my glue.
I'm hearing all of what you say to me, but I'll think it over. It's a little bit hard to breathe, to breathe, to breathe.
And honestly, I don't really try to overthink it with this stuff. Just
It's a common theme. You don't think I understand what you say
add a smattering.
to me, to me. Yeah, every
The only time I really think much more about it than that is if, like, on occasion I'll have a spot that I need to actually cover up. So I'll use them for that.
all of this worth it. This feeling is fading, and I can't look back and can't catch my breath. It's too hard to let go. It's too hard to let go. Good, good, good.
And we'll do some little red flowers for D-Swan. And I put those like right next to the others so it looks like a nice little happy clump of flowers there. Happy little clump of plants.
Breathing deep. After all the things we've been through, yeah, don't forget.
Oh, we got a 3 for
Let this slip through our hands. Yeah, every time that we have this talk, it's a little bit hard to admit our faults. But I'm not so perfect. Is all of this worth it? Is all of this worth it? This feeling is fading, and I can't look back and can't catch my breath. It's too hard to let go. It's too hard to let go. Good. This feeling is fading.
I want another one of these big ones.
Hard to let go. It's too hard to let go. Good.
Who gets it? You get it right there. He just needed a big floofery one. And then this last one, I think we're gonna do a couple of colors of flowers. Because, you know, he's just a happy guy. He just really likes long walks in fields of flowers while he's looking for inner sphere serats to do awful things to. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that gives you that one. So we are effectively done. We have got a whole star there of some clan mechs. Let's set them. I don't know if this actually works any better or not. But yeah, super happy with that. I've been meaning to do those forever and a day. And so not only are they finally done, but I got to paint some mechs I haven't painted yet. I've been looking at this linebacker forever and thought, man, that'd be a really fun one to paint. The Gladiator, actually, I've been sleeping on that one. I'm like, yeah, it's not a very good mech. And then I recently came across another profile of it, and I was like, oh my god, this thing is a beast. I don't remember which one it was. It's like the C or the D. I don't know. It's way down the list, but I may have to tone it down to actually play with my friends. Oh, it's going to be one of those. It's like my charger. I've got a late period charger, so it's like I don't know. It's definitely after the Jihad. I'm not sure exactly what time period, but it's got all the clan tech stuff on it. It's not a 2C, but it's such a mean mech. It's got like, it's an assault mech with like a TMM3, really high damage. I usually put like a pilot with a 2 gunnery on him, so it costs me like 100 points. It's like half of my army, but it does really awful things to people. All right, so there's those. I think what I'm gonna do is flip on over. I decided kind of last minute I wanted to do some clan infantry to go with these, so I think I'm gonna flip over and do that here. So let me just reset really quick, and then we will get that going. So while we do that, I'm gonna switch over here. I'm gonna get up and get some more butcher paper, and I'll be right back. All right, let's zoom this back in. That's right, I moved my paint. There's one. There's my warm brown. And graphite gray. Okay, so this is what I've been using for my base coat for all of these miniatures. So just gonna start off with that and go from there. And these are tiny. So we're gonna go with the goggles. And I'm gonna do the same paint scheme as the rest. So we're gonna do the legs in gray. Which this one's kind of interesting because it's actually, because I'm using the one step, it's showing the white paint below. Which, while expected, is a little different than how we did the others, but I think it'll actually end up being a good effect.
It's bittersweet. I wanna feel the sun
Might actually make these go by pretty fast. We'll see if I like the effect when it's dried. I've been putting them over a darker base coat. And then just kind of doing the bottom of these smoke plumes. The top are going to be a slightly different color. We're going to do them yellow and orange. Give them like a cool fire effect. Okay, now for the upper body. I'm just going to do this brown all across the tops of these, and then we'll go back, do a little bit of highlighting. Paint in some weapons. Alright, yeah, I like how the gray legs are coming out. It took a couple of coats for me to be happy, but we got there. Alright. Base coat on them are done. Pretty straightforward. This one step by Pro Acryl is pretty nice stuff. I like it. Just make sure I haven't missed anything obvious here. But I don't think so. Thing looks good. Okay. While this dries, I'm just trying to decide what my next step's going to be. I think we're just going to go ahead and go into our gray. We're going to do a little bit of neutral gray and then a little bit of bright neutral gray. And when I did the bigger models, I did a lot of glazing. I'm not going to do that for these. It's not really necessary on models this small. I'm sure somebody out there in the world disagrees, and your opinion's valid for your models, so please go ahead. But for me, I just don't see the point. I think I'll be able to get just as good of results with what I've got here. Fact, questioning how much of this I'm gonna need. I might just need to go straight into the bright. And the one-step paint's doing a lot of the work for me right now, which is nice. And since these are such small models, I'm just going through really quick, just hitting high spots, make sure I've got some nice contrast on there that will show good on the tabletop. Okay. Let's see. Update that so I stop spamming myself. Okay, next we're moving into some brown. So I'm gonna take, there's this light umber here. We're gonna add a little bit of warm flesh to it. And I think that'll be my highlight and mid-tone for my browns. Let's see how that looks. That's just those two right there. Then we're just gonna go and do a little bit of highlighting. I am going to do some weapon details, so we're going to leave those. The ends of those arms alone, because they're going to get painted back over. Hey, that one's done. And now for the final highlight. Keep these pretty small. Super small. Really just trying to be as careful as possible so I don't ruin the details, but want to have enough contrast so that, you know, on the table, several feet away, you're like, oh hey, that's painted infantry. And if you get up super close, you'll be like, oh hey, that's not awfully painted infantry. That somebody put some effort into that. Why? I will know. I will take a very close-up picture and it will bother me if it doesn't look good. Okay. And, you know, you can hold them up. Okay, the one big difference is there's some nice darker gray on the mech's legs. And so I think... think I'm gonna try adding just a little bit of Nuln oil here, and this is Nuln oil with some gloss in it, so I actually might want regular Nuln oil for this, but we'll see. I just want to darken these down just a little. And the good old GW container lids. Strike again. So why do I put gloss in Nuln oil? Because at one point in time there was a product that GW did. In fact, they did Agrex Earthshade and they did Nuln oil in a gloss version. I don't know if they still do it. I haven't found it recently, but it might be out there and I just haven't looked. I don't buy Nuln oil very often. But the nice thing about a wash with gloss in it is gloss will change the surface tension of the liquid. And so what that means is that it will be less likely to stay on your raised flat surfaces, your panels, and it will push down into the different lines between the panels. So just super useful, super beneficial for whenever you want Nuln oil not to completely change the color scheme of whatever you're putting it on, or Agrex Earthshade. You're just really trying to get it down into the crevices. Adding a little bit of either gloss. If you're doing like big washes, like if you're doing terrain, you can actually just put a very, very teeny tiny amount of Dawn liquid detergent in your paint, especially if you're mixing it with a lot of water. That will do the same thing. It'll break the surface tension and allow your paint to focus on going into the crevices and not just covering everything. Okay, so those are done. Next thing up is going to be some black for the weapons. I think I'm just going to keep having fun with these one-step paints because they're great. Hey Panda, welcome back. You done working yet? Hopefully your day's just about finished there. And you have no more storms on the horizon. Woo, that's a lot of wiring. Alright, we're gonna go through do up these weapons. I'm continuing with the one-step paints because they just go on so easy.
Was there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there
I'm just gonna do the lasers on their arms and then these missile tubes here. The Panda, you ever played any mini games? I don't know if I ever asked you. Or are you just here to eat lead paint? Do you like any sort of games? Like, do you do a video gamer or? Yeah, let me know. Happy to suggest some good entry points. This game here is pretty accessible. I'm gonna be working on some models for another one here coming soon. They're fun. I definitely suggest, you know, if you ever want to get into it, find a friend or find a club nearby so you don't have to spend any money. Just go give it a try. Diablo. Oh, that's right. You told me about you were playing Diablo 4. Yeah. There's a decent amount of miniature games now based off of video games. I think they finally figured out there's a good crossover there, but I haven't heard of a Diablo one yet. I got a couple of video games right now I'm intentionally not playing so I don't get sucked in. Oh, D&D on Mondays. That was actually one of the first miniature games I played, and D&D players would hate me for saying that, but I love playing D&D with miniatures. I think it adds a lot to the game. I've got some friends of mine. We're going to be playing a game called Frostgrave, which is a little miniature skirmish game. You've got a couple of wizards and their warband, and you're adventuring through this frozen city trying to find treasure. And so I'm about to do up some fantasy models to go with that as well. Actually, I've done some fantasy models. I've got some historicals that I'm going to add, which will fit the warband really well. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like, I love like comic book shop or game stores, they've got like your bar set up. That's going to be a really common way to do things. I think it's a great way to go. I think like bars, straight up bars, are kind of struggling to survive nowadays, and I think it's because a lot more people are they like to drink and do stuff, not just drink. Plus, this younger generation likes to toke a little bit more than they like to drink. And, you know, some of the older generation does too. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yep. Yep, I totally believe that. Okay, they're actually starting to look pretty good now. They've got highlights done. Now they've got some definition on the weapons, so that's looking good. We're gonna do just a little bit of highlights on those weapons to make them stand out. Yeah, the only time I really go to bars is when I go to the pub to play music. And you know, like the one we go to, they get a decent little crowd in there, usually by like the end of the night, usually around 8 o'clock. They fill up for a little while, but it's never, well, it's a tiny spot, so it does get packed on occasion, but like 20 people will pack that place. Okay, just a little bit of gray for highlights on there. Okay, those look good. I do love painting infantry because they go by so fast. Okay, let me strategize here for a second. So I think what I'm gonna do some stuff that I need to let dry before I work on my next fit. And so what that's gonna be, we're gonna do a little bit of this yellow one step, and we're gonna do a little bit of orange one step. Double fisting it. And we're just gonna dribble a little orange in there. Right, exactly. And we're gonna dribble a little yellow in there. And basically what I'm gonna do, so this is gonna be for these like smoke plumes here. I'm gonna do just orange at the very top. Is that how I want it? No, I think I'm doing it backwards. Oh well. Always something. Then we're gonna take some of this yellow and we're gonna smoosh that in there so we get some mixing going on. This is something I do this a lot with watercolor paints, and I love doing it with acrylics too, is smush them together, let them mix, let them have fun. Let the paint decide how the paint wants to paint. Add a little bit more orange down in here. Then you get something like that, so it's all like... Gotta use the sound effects too. This time we're gonna go in with the yellow first, because that's what I was supposed to do last time. Oops. And then we go in with the orange. Smoosh that in there. Okay, and you end up with that. And then we'll let that dry. We'll need that dry to do the final phase, which will be putting some white over it. So we'll kind of push the flame stuff back and have some smoke stuff on the outside, and then that'll look all great. While we're waiting for that, we're gonna go in with some of this diorama FX here, and we're gonna smoosh that onto the base all nice. And this stuff we have to be a little bit careful with because these models are so dang small. It's super easy to overdo it and around the models. Okay, now close this up. While that dries and the orange and the yellow dries, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go do the viewport. The viewport, they're so small that's gonna be hard to see them. So I'm gonna get a tiny brush. Come here, tiny brush. And just make a nice sharp point. And just finding that little line of the viewport and dragging the brush across it. Just like that. Okay. And then the finale. A little bright green for the highlight, and this is just going to be a little dot. That's starting to look about right. In this case, I'm just using the palette to spin the brush on to get a nice sharp point. And the wet palette also helps to kind of like moisten everything so the paint runs a little easier. And like, I'm kind of like, oh, I could take it one step farther, but I could also just leave it the hell alone and just stop. Just stop! Okay, a little bit of green for their little medium lasers they got in there. All right. Get a base coat and dry brush plus fire and smoke. I know. I'm kind of obsessive sometimes, but like really, I haven't done a ton of work on them. I mean, maybe painting the medium laser was taking it just a little bit too far, but I'm here. I'm doing it. How are you doing today, Cranston? You gotta do the fire though, because you can see that pretty well. So that one's like a must-have. Oh, and I need crimson and is that orange? Yeah. We need that for the bases here in a minute. Not quite yet though. I'm gonna just reset, put some paints away now that I'm done with them. Okay. Oh, nice. You're gonna get it done before this weekend? Is it this weekend or is it next week into next weekend? Looks like next week into next weekend. Nice. Let me know where you post pictures so I can go see. Okay. You know what? I could just do that really quick since I've already got orange on the palette. I've got the crimson right there. I'm just gonna do the bases really quick. Nice. I'm still looking. I'm still looking for somebody to bring me back some of the new stuff that they're going to be releasing there. Although I know we'll get it out in the wild before too long. It won't be more than, what was it, like a month or so before it starts showing up in stores. But I got a buddy of mine is going to be there, and I keep trying to tell him, like, hey, go get in line. Give me the new boxes. Oh, sweet. You can send me a message and I'll take a look if you don't mind. I'd love to see him. Send me a message on Twitch or Discord. Either one of those is fine. Oh, sweet. Thank you. I saw that come through. I'll check that out here in a minute. I'm really liking this one step for doing my base coat of my bases. It actually, the coverage is just great.
Okay, here's my theory. Whoever made that noise made it intentionally. So we would hear it and find him.
Although I think I'm gonna run out and have to mix some more. Come on! Right, I think that should be fine. Let me take a quick look here. Oh, what the heck? Sorry, apparently they don't let it. let you find that stuff super easy. Let me look over here. 1 second, please. Cranston, are you okay if I share it with the stream? Sure, cool. Give me a second.
Theory. Whoever made that noise made it intentionally. So we would hear it and find him.
All right. So let me go to... So this is a video Cranston Snored. He's on the demo team for Catalyst, and this is some of the cool stuff he's been doing for... Is this a past Gen Con, or is this the current one you're working on? Screen share. All right, let's take a look. Google's not playing nice with me. It'll catch up in a second. There we go. Come on, Google. It's not that hard. All you have to do is play a video. It looks super cool though. I love the arena. Do you have all the starting positions with the LEDs? I mean, it's a whole 5 seconds. Google, is it really that hard? One last time here. Oh my heck, nope. Wow. Yeah, sorry, I've never actually run into that with Google Drive before. We almost got there. Oh well. We get the impression of it. I'll have to download the video later and watch the whole thing. Painting that 1,000. I bet. That's awesome. I love the ED. So really quick. Oops, this will probably help. I wanted this to go. I said I really love that you do that. Yeah, I know. I just figured that out. Thank you for pointing that out. I just realized I wanted this to be a little darker, so I'm going to Agrax Earth Shade it really quick. And then we'll move on. Do the music. And then once this is done, all we're gonna have left to do is finish the smoke plumes, do the bases, and then all of our wolf boys will have some clan elemental friends to hang out with them. Let's go to this view. Woo! Man. It's like super humid in here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Won't get real cold for a minute. It's like 61% humidity. I have a humidor in here, so I know how humid it is in this space. And holy heck, that's way too much. Okay, so while those are finishing up, we're gonna do a little bit of, I want to call it dry brushing, but honestly, this is such a small details that we don't even need to actually dry brush it. So what we're just gonna do, we're gonna go in, probably with some of this gray, some of this white, and all we're gonna do is just kind of hit, hit some of the tops of these. Just covering any obvious mistakes here. I really like the way these two paints played together though. I just kind of schmooshed some orange and some yellow together and let them go for it, and they did some good stuff. One of the lessons I learned doing watercolor painting is sometimes less is more. Sometimes you just want to let the paint be paint, go let it do whatever it wants to do, and it's probably going to do cooler stuff than you even thought. I did actually though, looks like I missed a spot here, so I'm going to go clean that up. Graphite gray. It's also one of the reasons I think it's really powerful for, you know, even if your main goal is just to paint miniatures, go play around with some other mediums. It's worth it. Go learn a little bit of art theory. I know, like, a lot of people's eyes glaze over when you say that, but at the end of the day, whether you're painting a 3D surface or a 2D surface, most of the rules are still the same. Most of them. Okay, so now that's all going. Might as well just go to a brighter color. And then finally I'm going to add in some just bright white. And finally, just white, white, white. Well, we'll still have a little bit of that bluish gray in there, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. Right, so that one basically done. I'll have to do a little bit on the base and then we're good to go. And then this one had everything but like this last little white done, so we're gonna add a little bit of that. Okay. And looks fine without, you know, too much obsessing over it. And then all we need to do is clean up the bases. We're getting super close to being finished with these. If we start to finish with these clan elementals today on the stream, that's fun. And so what we need, we're gonna do, I like a little bit of this shadow flesh. And a little bit of this dark warm flesh. So this is, I like this because really it's just a really light colored red. And then this is a nice mid red. That's all. You could use any that you like. It really doesn't matter. Just go for something that's obviously brighter than the base tone. Find yourself a nice highlight. The only thing I would avoid would be like adding a bunch of white to your base color, because you will get pink, and you should only get pink if you want it. I'm usually not going for pink. And I was listening to a big debate the other day about how you should dry brush. I'm team paper towel because that's what I have. Ooh, and I think these might still be wet. If they are indeed wet, it will make the dry brush slightly more difficult. Can't remember. Oh yeah, it is probably wet because the Agrax or shade I used was not gloss. So if it's shiny, it's because it's still wet. That's right. What we'll do is just throw some of this on here. It's fine. And then I'll switch to a different part of the painting. Which we'll just do these base edges really quick, and I gotta go back through the mechs and do the base edges as well, so that should give us a good couple minutes, let everything dry. Base edges, generally, I just like this little flat brush I've got, works really well. You don't really need a pointed brush for this. And then one last thing I'll do for like game purposes is I will number these bases just so I can keep track of them during a game. And I usually put them on the hex closest to me. But yeah, there you can see, like, once you get the base done, they start to look pretty well put together. Why are you playing the same song over and over? The problem with the Monster Cat channel is sometimes like they all remix each other and then you get the same song like 15 different times, all slightly different because they all remixed each other. I'm glad you like each other's music. Really, I am. And I'm gonna just admit I'm kind of a weirdo. This is one of the most satisfying parts of painting a miniature to me. You add this little border and it just cleans everything up and it starts to look finished. You're like, oh, look at that. My nerves have been calmed. All right, and then I'm gonna do these again really quick, just to clean them up. Especially since most of them got a little bit of the dirt dust on the base there. That'll get rid of that little red tint. All right. They're done. You know what? Like, looking at these bases, because of the way I did it, I actually don't think I need to put any more paint on them. For these, they actually have a really nice, like, varied pop color already. So hey, great. So now all we really need to do is put some basing material on them. Just putting some stuff away really quick. And then we gotta find this. We'll go ahead and zoom back out, move this out of the way. We got our tweezers and we got our glue, and then we're just going to add some of these onto these elemental bases, and we're going to be good. We're going to be done. And that'll mean we're completely finished with a entire star plus, because we added the infantry at the end. Some nice Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy. The last thing I will point out, the one thing I haven't done, I won't do it on stream, is just I will spray these all with a matte coat to reduce the shine and to make it so that they're more resilient on the tabletop, because otherwise they'll probably get beat up pretty quick. But ultimately, I mean, these are game pieces, so you want to do the extra so you don't have to worry about all the paint coming off. Although that's not as prevalent nowadays with the plastic miniatures as it used to be, or it is with metal miniatures. I guess there's still a lot of metal miniatures out there, including 4 Battletech with the Iron Wind miniatures. Actually, this spot right in front makes me want to put something there. Fatal flowers. And then we're gonna do some grass. And a little bush. All right, that phase is done. And then the only thing we have left, and I'm gonna give it a try. I don't do this very often, but it's always good to practice. So I'm gonna do some hand. Ooh. I don't know what happened to this brush. It may work to my advantage though. I'm gonna do some hand numbering here. So I'll do number 1. Number 1. And then my least favorite number to paint, number 2. And just clean that up a little bit. Not great, but it'll work on the tabletop. Number 1, number 2. I'm pretty stoked about these, so let's see, put them in the right spot. I'll get some pictures of these up on Instagram here in the next couple of days. That's folkfirebrand.minis. Which is folkfire.minis is the name of the new channel that I'm spinning up for this effort. So if you continue to enjoy my miniature painting streams, make sure and give that one a follow, as we'll be shifting over to that as of August 1st. All right, everybody, I'm gonna call it a day for today. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate having y'all here. It's great to have the conversation while we're doing this stuff, and I will catch you on Friday for the next one. Might be shifting over. I've got some 40K projects I'm going to be working on here soon, so we may shift over to those. I'll forget to lick the brush dry. Yes, sir, I will. Actually, I have a reminder here for me. Don't eat the paint. See? So I can never forget. Thank you. Have a good one. See ya.